There was an overturned cement truck in the street.
Hey, I saw the whole thing from up there. He hit someone.
A girl had been trapped in the cement before she was run over. Firefighters Bowden and Kelly hurried forward to check on the girl, while crews climbed up to check on the truck driver.
I didn't see her.
It's okay, it's all right. Just don't move your neck.
The two together pulled the girl out of the cement. Kelly said the girl wasn't breathing and thought her leg was snapped.
Tony, grab any water.
They quickly got her to the sidewalk. Bowden used his fingers to scrape some cement out of the girl's mouth, while Kelly kept pouring water on the girl's head. At this moment, crews had already rescued the driver. The girl still wasn't breathing. The paramedic arrived. She quickly inserted a tube into her mouth, trying to suction out the cement. Bowden and Kelly anxiously waited. Finally, the girl regained consciousness, and everyone sighed with relief. The firefighters went out on a call to save a man caught in a trash compactor.
My husband, he dropped his cell phone down the trash chute. I climbed in after it.
Casey tried to shut off the machine, but couldn't. They needed to work quickly to save him. Casey asked Kelly if there was a way. He said they couldn't reach the ratchet binder on the side because it was too close to the wall. Therefore, they had to use brute force to get to it. The man's wife was anxiously waiting through everyone's efforts. The hydraulics eventually blew the door off. The firefighters were almost injured because of this. The man was rescued, but he got a broken femur and needed to be taken to the hospital immediately. A car was suspended in midair before it had tried to beat someone to a spot and crashed right through the wall. Even worse, the blue car below was hit directly by falling concrete. The driver was in critical condition. At that moment, a piece of metal suddenly fell from above. Now both the car on the ground and the one hanging above were in extreme danger. They had to carry out the rescue on both sides simultaneously. The truck company was responsible for towing the car on the ground. While the rescue squad needed to stabilize the car above, paramedic instructed the woman to remove her scarf and tie around the driver's arm to stop the bleeding. The rescue team quickly reached the rooftop. The chief assessed the situation and realized there was no time to secure the car. They could only hold it temporarily with chains, and Kelly was tasked with rescuing the driver. He first shattered the rear window and then slid inside. The car swung back and forth like a pendulum. He quickly pulled the man out. By that time, the truck company had secured the chains and began pulling the car. As the car was being dragged forward, Kelly and the man jumped out. The wall could no longer hold up, and the car plunged straight down, landing in the spot where the blue car had just been parked. The paramedics were called out. A man's arm was nailed tightly to a wooden board. The paramedics saw it and were shocked.
Yep, that's a problem.
Shay asked,
Okay, one nail I get, but four?
He disabled the safety on his nail gun so it'll shoot rapid fire.
She suggested calling for backup. Dawson said no, he's already going into shock. They had to act quickly. The man's friend brought a circular saw. Dawson told him to cut it as short as possible. The man screamed in pain.
Sorry, man, are you okay?
You're not amputating an arm, it's a piece of wood.
Shay took the chainsaw, covered the man's eyes. Soon the wood was cut off, then the other side. They needed to get the man to the hospital as soon as possible.
The man was pinned between two cars in his driveway, but the firefighters who arrived didn't hurry to rescue him. They just pulled the handbrake. The man said his children and wife were waiting for him to go back for Christmas. However, it was depressing against all of his internal injuries. The minute they moved it, he was gonna start to bleed out. Eventually died from blood loss. The only solution was to find a PRT, which was a mobile operation room, to perform surgery the moment they moved the car. But the rigid captain insisted they were firefighters, not doctors. Ben said he was not going to let that man die a week before Christmas. So ignoring the captain's objections, he called his doctor wife and arranged for a PRT.
Dang, suspend me if you want, but not until after I save this man's life.
Ben explained everything to the man, hoping he could be with his family.
She has time to get here.
The man, trying to stay calm, called his wife, but after hanging up, he fell into endless guilt. His wife always told him to push the parking brake when he parked. He should listen to her more. As he spoke, he coughed up a mouthful of blood. At that moment, the man's wife arrived. She asked what they were doing and why the car was still on him.
Honey.
The man asked her to stay calm and began to give instructions for his last wishes, trying to remain composed.
Tell them that no matter where this life takes them, that I'll be right there with them. Please don't let them grow up to hate Christmas.
Meanwhile, the PRT finally arrived. Ben hurried to organize everything. Once the preparations were complete, they began to move the car. However, the wife couldn't bear to watch. She just sang the man's favorite song. Soon the man was transferred to the PRT. Ben used a scalpel to open the man's chest and successfully clamped his artery. They then rushed him to the hospital. As the vehicle drove away, the wife finally broke down, and Maya hurried to comfort her.
Siren means life. That siren means he's alive.
At the hospital, the man was ultimately saved. When Ben heard the news, he cried like a child.
This man jumped from the 4th floor and landed on the fence below. Paramedics rushed to the scene and saw the man like this. Firefighters were all shocked.
Holy smokes.
The immediate concern was how to rescue him. If they pulled him out directly, he might bleed to death.
Chief,
Get the K-12, we're cutting them down.
Then the firefighter grabbed the saw and quickly began cutting through a fence rail. But because the iron fence conducted heat too rapidly, they couldn't keep cutting continuously and spray water to cool it down. So they could continue after completing the cut. Firefighters hastily lifted the man and the fence onto a stretcher. But before they could transport him to the ambulance, the man encountered another problem.
It's going in a V-fib. We gotta pull the fence.
What happened when Paulie dies?
We gotta get his heart back on rhythm, but there's no way I'm shocking him until we get this iron out first.
Then the firefighter brought a small saw and removed the pointed tip of the fence. They collectively pulled the fence out and turned the man over, quickly set up the equipment. Shocked at the first time, the man showed no response.
See you again at 360. Stand by. Clear.
His heart rate was now normal and had a pulse when touched. The team hurriedly loaded him into the ambulance. Firefighters were called. The car was actually stuck in an electric pole.
Well, that is some parking job.
What made the firefighters worried was the car axle was sitting on 10,000 volts. The people inside the car were at risk of electrocution at any moment. The captain asked his man to call utilities to cut off the power. The firefighters on the scene looked puzzled. How did the car end up there? It turned out the father was teaching his son parallel parking when suddenly the father had a heart attack. At this moment, the firefighter reported the utilities team were 20 minutes away, but the dangerous situation at the scene couldn't wait. They had to take action now. First, they assumed the entire car was electrified. They must avoid metal parts during rescue. A firefighter drove the aerial ladder next to the car, then slowly extended the board inside. He told the boy to strap the life belt to his father, but the father was unusually anxious at this time, insisting on waiting until the power was cut off before getting out of the car. Just then, the electric spark ignited the leaking gasoline. The car quickly became engulfed in flames. There was no choice but to leave now.
Guys, can you please help my sister? She's bleeding and I don't know what to do.
I started bleeding this morning and it won't stop. I tried putting band-aids on it, but
it still won't stop. I was running a little too fast and fell.
Yeah, the hospital is just a few blocks away.
No hospital. Our mom went to the hospital and never came out.
Okay. Jenny, are you having any pain?
No, nothing happened. I just started bleeding and now my stomach hurts.
Jenny, how old are you?
12 and a half.
Jenny, can you remove your jacket for me?
Okay. Am I dying?
No, Jenny, you're not dying. You are menstruating.
It's like you heard other girls talk about getting their period.
Oh, okay.
Nobody told you this, huh?
Is it always like this?
Every woman is different, and cycles change every 5 years.
Oh, seriously?
It's not very comfortable.
Oh, yeah, you
yeah.
were correct. Pads kind of suck. Tampons aren't much better, and I have yet to venture into Diva Cup territory.
What's that?
Something you don't have to worry about yet.
There's gonna be other stuff I don't know, huh?
Try prying open the doors?
Car stopped on the 25th floor, but it's an express. There's not another opening till the 30th.
Hello, anybody hear me?
Yeah, we're here.
Calm.
It's my daughter. She's having an asthma attack. We don't have the inhaler.
Hey, guys. There's a broken cable coiled up on top of the elevator roof. It's got to weigh 700 pounds. Gonna have to find another way in. Take off the side panel. We make a bridge, use a couple planks. We use a rescue car.
Pipe pole for a handrail, walk the family across.
Okay, in the rescue car. Let's go.
Take it easy, all right? Easy. Coming in. Hey, hold on, sweetheart. It's gonna help you breathe.
Yeah.
Be okay.
I'm gonna need your help. Stand here. Hold on to this.
Okay.
One of us will take your daughter. Last man out will have to walk across with no rail.
I'll go last. Baby, it's okay. Just hold on to the rail.
Hey, just look at me right here. Here. Come on.
Sure? Go.
Hey, yeah, okay, okay. All right. Nice and easy, buddy. Look here. Just walk straight ahead. Hey.